Alright, so we're gonna be doing the Protect the President challenge, and we're gonna be trying to protect Mr. President at all costs. We give him all our heals. We protect him.
And he can't have a gun. That's the only catch.
Yes. I'm the president now.
Let's go Meowscles after this. Mr. President, can we go Meowscles? Here,
I suppose so.
Here's our code name. We gotta come up with code names.
We don't.
Yeah, we do.
It's the most stupid thing I've ever heard.
I'll be naked.
Mr. President, I have a gift.
I'm naked
Mr.
mole
President,
rat.
Mr. President, I've got a gift.
What do you think this is? You're one step away from being fired.
I have two
Fine,
minis,
take that.
Mr. President.
Oh, yes. There we
Mr.
go.
President, I have two minis. Pop, nope. Mr.
Now we're
President.
talking.
Let me pop this
Mr. President.
medkit, Mr. President.
No, that was for Mr. President.
Yeah, Mr. President approves of
Alright,
Okay.
Mr.
Now-
President, can we go?
Agent
alright,
X what easy
let's
now.
go kill. Let's go get Meowscles. Mr. President, I call Meowscles.
Okay.
Who's gonna be the pilot? I'll call you the pilot.
Do you think I'm sitting in the portal? It's my breath. Hop out of that right now. Oh my god. You think I'm already in sprinkles? This is serious business here.
Oh, I'll sit next to Mr. President. Mr. President, I have Mr. President all safe.
Oh, if you guys didn't know, Mr. President is also a part-time dancer. I need to practice my dance.
Your escort has arrived.
Mr. President, stay here.
Alright, let's get down to business with this guy.
There's a decoy on cat. Knock.
Mr. President, can I borrow any of your heals?
I do not have fuels.
Mr.
I have a
President.
fishing rod.
Mr. President,
I see what
he's
you're
eating a
doing
med
here.
kit. Can he eat a med kit?
Yes, he can eat a medkit. But it appears to me that he's using a medkit. I never said he could use one, I said he could eat it.
Mr. President, do you want a pistol?
No.
Can you hold a pistol? Mr. President,
As the president's bodyguard, I must have a lot of health.
here, Marquez, you're gonna be, what's your code name? We're gonna do, Mr. President, medkit. Up there. I'll bring it. Your code name, Mars, your code name's gonna be, you're John Deere, and I'll be John Denver.
Your agent,
and-
you're forgetting your
I'm
your
Agent
badge.
John Denver.
Don't forget
Oh
your
shoot,
badge.
my bad.
I will escort you to your plane, Mr. President.
John Deere,
I will escort.
Agent John.
We will escort him to his plane.
Before we leave, we're
Agent-
doing some reconstruction here. I need you to destroy this whole building.
Yes, sir, Mr.
Bring
President.
it down
yes,
to
sir.
the ground. Come on, let's get a move on it.
Sorry, Mr. President. Big pot, sir. Do you want it?
John Denver, help me with this building.
Yes, sir, John Deere. Mr. President, John Deere's ordering me around.
No, you're gonna get fired, Mr.
Sorry, I'm having some business in this box right now.
Oh no. Oh no, we gotta. Mr. President, I
Alright.
advise that we go to the zone right now.
I do too. Okay, let's get to circle.
Mr. President, it's not, it's not safe to be wandering.
Mr.
6 feet
President,
apart from me.
as your pilot,
All right, let's go kill this person that they call the second president called Midas.
Mr.
Name Gold.
Mr. President, we advise us not safe. Mr. President, we shall push a rig and kill TNT who tried to steal your boom bag.
You should stole it from me many years ago.
Push. They're infiltrating. Mr. President.
Oh, I've been shot. feel so weak.
Mr. President, move, move, move!
I can hardly move.
Everything's fine. I have this under control.
Mr. President, John Deere is cracked over there. Good job,
Mr. President, we will be back with you shortly.
Mr. President might be rolling out of here if the storm's coming. Don't worry, Mr. President got this.
Mr. President,
Me?
Mr. President's no longer playing Mr. Nice Cop.
Mr. President, let me plane.
Mr. President, we have decided that you are only allowed that big gun. So do you want my gun?
That sounds great.
Alright, I'll give it to you. Let's accelerate. We got to give Mr. President a second mythic weapon. Because this is stupid.
Mr. President is not yelled.
Yes.
Mr.
You don't have time for this nonsense, people. Show me how to play.
President, I'm with you as always. Mr. President?
Mr. President's flying.
Bodyguard, I am low.
I have 3 minis.
As your bodyguard, I am not allowed to be low.
We got to go for Tiantina. Right here. The stupid woman thinks she can steal Mr. President's weapon. Well, she's got another thing coming.
I need to inform her that she's gonna die today.
This is a scout helicopter.
Mr. President, your weapon. Your first mythic weapon.
Mr. President, as your bodyguard, I advise that we go find Tiantina ASAP.
Mr. President's going on a scavenger.
I will go scout out the area.
Mr. President,
people are here. It looks like people have your room ready, Mr. President. I'm afraid that we can't get it today.
Mr. President is not happy with this. Mr.
Mr.
President
President,
says,
they have the vault.
Mr. President says, one of you take this helicopter while I take the cleaner one.
Mr. President, John Deere, you will drive with... John Deere, I'm gonna need you to ride your own helicopter while me and Mr. President...
John Denver, I am low. I will take a boat.
don't worry, I have a mini.
I have promoted you big potion shield.
Mr. President, do you have any mats? Mr. President, can you pick me up?
Mr. President dropped off his mats because why would I need to build something? When you guys can
You
build
have
it
big
for me?
beefy bodyguards.
Mr.
You
President?
need to build when you have your big beefy bodyguards.
FBI!
Wait,
John,
why am I
John
driving
Deere,
my
make
own-
sure you're...
This is ridiculous.
I'm sorry, Mr. President.
That is
Oh,
horrible
shoot.
driving.
Mr. President?
This is why I'm the driver.
Mr. President, permission to pick up John Deere?
Mr. President, I
Yes.
need AR ammo. I need AR ammo ASAP.
Mr. President
So
does
does
not
Mr.
care. Mr. President has only 25.
Mr. President, if you only have
escorted to
25...
the circle.
Mr. President, where do you... Loot?
Would you like to go to the watchtower?
Yes.
Okay.
If it isn't the Ring of Liberty.
Mr. President, ARM, right there. Mr. President, I will split with you.
Mr. President, I need some as your bodyguard.
Alright, Mr. President will give you some up here.
John Deere.
Give me the AR ammo. sir.
Mr. President, do you want to set up base here?
Mr. President
you,
says
sir.
we're doing renovation and you better knock this down right now.
Yes, sir,
Okay.
Mr. President. Yes, sir.
This is how we roll around here.
I want to see this gone by night, which might be a while, but still.
Oh, don't worry. We make quick work.
Mr. President, don't worry.
We need to get rid of the storage.
Nothing was ever here.
Nobody knows that this was here.
Mr. President, wait up. I have something to give to you. First, let me find it.
What? I'm not
Your
talking.
agent at your service. Where'd it go?
Oh,
Never mind.
a leaf? Is that how you feel about me?
As your pilot and bodyguard, I advise that we go to the circle.
Mr. President, there's another helicopter trying to...
Do we have execution
2 more
order?
helicopters think they're better than us.
Execution order in the groups.
Mr. President, there's sweats over here. Mr. President, do we want
Mr.
to...
President wants to
fight?
go far, far away from that and never. Mr. President wants to go.
Run,
away.
Mr.
Mr. President wants to hide in a bush.
Run!
Mr. President, we will find you the nearest bush. This is the valet. Oh wait, never mind, that's not in the circle.
Mr. President, there are sweats in this lobby. What should we do, Mr. President?
I'll say we take any steps
Mr.
necessary.
President,
Run,
I am
Mr. President.
Mr. President, I am afraid that there are no available bushes in the area.
Alright, get to the
Mr. President, get down!
get
down!
to the
get
nearest
down.
high ground. I've been injured.
Mr.
Get out.
President, jump out! Jump out, Mr. President. Good job, Mr. President.
Mr. President's been shot and Mr. President
Ow, they have
mats
great
in
aim.
the front. Mr. President has a new shield.
Oh no, Mr.
Mr. President, we need to get out of here. Lickety split.
Mr. President is scared. Mr. President is peeing his pants right now. Mr. President is gonna.
Mr. President, you are safe. I will hold. Mr. President, follow me. Start following me.
Alright, let's quickly get up this hill. Oh no. Mr. President's being shot at.
But they really want to assassinate Mr. President.
When will those
You
little
won't
darn
let it
kids
happen.
learn?
These guys are relentless.
They can't defeat me.
Mr. President, I will assist you.
Mr. President, more shooting, more shooting.
Mr.
will
President's
shack
getting in this bush. Oh yeah, there's a shack. Mr. President's getting in this nicely
Mr.
built
President,
shack.
we are sorry that your helicopter has been taken out. How must we repay you? Can you repay me with meds for my hard work?
Mr. President rewards you 2 bandages.
Thank you, sir. Sir, yes, sir.
What in the world were you thinking, John Deere? This is no place for a president.
Mr. President's starting to assume this is a scrim.
Mr. President, John
Mr.
Denver's
President.
starting to assume
Mr.
it
President.
is.
And Mr.
Follow
President
us.
may not be wrong.
Mr. President, over here, Mr. President. We've got a chest. 1-800, check the area, checking the area.
The Chinese
It's my
are trying
special
to attack
fancy
us, but we will not let them today. Absolutely.
Mr. President has gotten a weapon upgrade.
Mr. President's going on stealth mode down to this hill, trying to find the nearest bush possible. Mr. President sees
Mr. President, we see a helicopter. We see a helicopter.
Mr.
I repeat,
President.
we see a helicopter. Scan. Hold on, Mr. President. Wait there. Let me scan the area. There's 2 helicopters, Mr. President.
Mr. President says take one, the one that's higher.
Mr. President,
Yeah?
there's people in the bush.
Thanks.
Mr. President's gonna get. I don't know.
Mr. President,
Okay.
I am in a fight.
One of them is quite low.
Mr. President. Mr. President, one is knocked.
Mr. President is scared of the threats.
Mr. President, don't worry, they are dead.
Make sure they suffer and scream and say, I want my mommy.
Mr. President, I've helped.
Mr. President is
Mr. President,
confused why there's so many
would you like a
people.
rocket launcher?
Mr. President would love
you
a
like
rocket launcher.
Would you like a rocket launcher?
Mr. President would love that.
Here are some extra bullets. Just in case you need to give
These
them the rough
Chinese are gonna
treatment.
pay for what they've done.
Mr. President.
Come on, Mr. President thinks that's actually a bad idea. Mr. President thinks.
President is always right.
Mr. President thinks there's somebody in that house because where else would they be? Because there's like such an open field up here, and like where else would they be hiding at?
Mr. President? What to do? There's 12 people left, Mr. President. I think we are in a scrim, Mr. President. Mr. President, we are in a scrim. I repeat, we are in a scrim.
Mr. President is confused.
Mr. President, over here. Over here, Mr. President.
There's no way there's
Mr.
like,
President. Mr. President.
people are
Over
dying.
Follow me.
The American country is dying. Fast.
Mr. President, it's us versus a full squad.
We do it for the country.
Mr. President.
We do it for America.
Mr. President thinks there's somebody in that house. But Mr. President,
there is nobody in that house. I can confirm.
Mr. President, I think there is, Mr. President, I repeat, there's two teams fighting.
Mr. President says we push and explode them.
Mr. President, Peter says, John Denver says that's a bad idea. Because, listen, they're gonna third party, and now we're just gonna be in our base.
No, it's a 2v3.
2v3,
Basically
Mr. President?
2v2.
Mr. President, he's lasered over there.
You guys take it from here.
Mr. President, they're double ramp. Mr. President, they're bloody tryhards, and there's the biggest sweats I've ever seen. Mr. President,
I'm afraid we need your help.
Mr. President is so scared. Because we should be beating them right now. Because we have more people than them, but yet we're still dying. What a disgrace to the American country.
It's gotta be just like the American Revolution. We have less, but we still win.
Mr. President, I'm being cranked on. Help me, Mr. President.
Mr. President says not come in here or else he's gonna come in here and get... Mr. President is saying, what have you done?
I advise that you get the res off.
Knocked one, Mr. President. One has died to fall damage. Mr. President, one's done.
Mr. President, come in.
Mr.
Tell me where the second one is.
Knock them down. I advise that you knock them down instantly.
Mr. President.
Mr. President,
we have a
bodyguard. Is that them and that big 90 place?
Mr. President.
On high ground.
Where are they at?
I don't know, dude.
We need to get going. Oh, they're right there. Or he. Oh, Mr. President might die.
Mr. President will not die on our watch.
Not today.
RPG, Mr. President. RPG on that base.
Oh, hit him.
Mr. President, it is up to you.
Mr. President with the dub.
Mr. President drops the mic.
Great work, Mr. President.
Mr. President, we couldn't have done it
Hope you
without
guys
you.
enjoyed that great original video.
Yeah, it was
Subscribe
homemade.
or else I
If you
will
guys
scream
didn't
right in my
realize
mic.
the whole time it was me, there was no president.
Yeah, we got Donald Trump on the mic actually.
Yeah, for half of it if you didn't know.
Thank you.
But that last part, I came in at the last part with RPG. When I heard there was an
Thank you
RPG
for
in the
watching.
game, I was like, you guys are late for president.
Did you stop it?
But hope you guys enjoyed. Bye.